I fear becoming too comfortable. I fear, you know, it was funny. The network president of the Blaze said something to me the other day that he said, you've got a blue collar sensibility about you that nobody else has. He said, you have got this street level blue collar view of things that very few people have in this business, because, and I think what he was meaning is that at some point you become a little too pampered. You know, if you're thirsty and somebody runs over to give you a bottle of water, or if you have to go someplace and it's just, you don't have to think about it because somebody's going to send a car for you and somebody's going to book a flight or even still send you a private jet. You start to become different. You become different. I was looking for a CD this morning in my basement. All my CDs are in my basement. They're not a function of my life the way they used to be, and I lament that. I ran out and got a pair of Vans for that reason. I was thinking about this walking to work today from where I parked my truck, that am I getting too old for the fight? I wish I was 20 years younger sometimes, so I had another 20 years in me to fight. Because this fight is real. And it's going to take a lot of energy. And I have a lot of energy. I'm a wired person. Wired. I'm like this off the air. I'm wired. I'm a wired person. I wake up in the morning with my daughter, and the stress starts as soon as I wake up. You've all felt this. If you've got kids, when you had kids, or if you're going to have kids. I get up to give my wife some sleep because she's the one that gets up to nurse the baby. And after as soon as I get in the car, as soon as I get in my truck, I'm on the Bluetooth with my TV producer. We talk the whole way in. Then I got to go over to the Blaze, write the monologue. And I'll tell you this morning, I hit send at 11:53 and had to run up 6th Avenue to get here. I called Mike. I said, Mike, just bring my headphones down. I'm going straight to the studio. As soon as I get off the air here, I'm going to pull my headphones out, and I'm going to run back down the street to get in the car with them to go across town to the TV studio. And I'm going to have to prepare the TV show. Then we're going to do the TV show. Then I'm going to have to walk all the way the hell back across to the east side of Manhattan to get my truck to go home. And even at that time of night, there's still traffic because it's New York freaking City. I'm not looking for anyone to pat me on the back here. But I don't think some of these 7-figure progressives who constantly whine about being rich or people being rich remember what this all means. What it means to have the government consume more and more and more because they're beyond the pricing system there. It's gotten too damn comfortable in the progressive movement for some of these people. They don't know and they don't care anymore. It's not affecting them personally, just like the government class. And I don't know what my future holds. I don't know. Maybe a year from now, the Blaze will have taken off and my show will have taken off and they'll put a 7-figure contract in front of me. I don't know. But every day I think of something that I need to do to remember who I was when I first got in this business. I'm going to tell you something right now before I go to break. I don't even know why I'm telling you this stuff. I remember being out of college, living in I was living in a town called Mary Esther, Florida, in a guest house of someone I was renting it from. And there were days, well, before that, I was actually living in a friend's computer room on a blow-up mattress. And a friend of mine that got a pretty good job with one of the tech companies in Fort Walton Beach, and I was living on a blow-up mattress in his computer room. And there were days where I had $5 in my wallet, and that was enough to put a few gallons of gas in my 1987 two-door Jeep Cherokee Laredo. And I'd have to go to the radio station and invent reasons to be there in the hopes that there'd be some leftover promotional food in the coffee room. And boy, let me tell you something. If there was a free beer T-shirt or bar T-shirt from a promotion we did, believe me, some of them went home with me because that was the way I afforded T-shirts back then. I went through a period of my life where I don't think any T-shirt I owned didn't have a radio station logo on it, a beer logo on it, or a bar logo on it. That was one less thing I had to buy. I don't ever want to let that go. Don't ever want to let it go. Couple that with all the years of reading and understanding and growth. And I got news for you. This government is going to continue to consume things and continue to grow and turn this country into a police state. And we say, hey, why are you telling us these anecdotal stories that you've told before about your life? I mean, we're sick of these. It's because I know what it means to be. We are the affected class. We're the class of people that are going to be affected. When they pass amnesty and start flooding the public schools with illegal immigrant kids, it's your kids, not their kids. Their kids go to private school. When a gallon of milk becomes $5.99, I'm sorry. These are people who are making seven figures and forget what it means to pay for a gallon of milk if they're not even having it home delivered. Being rich is great. I want to be rich. I want to be filthy, disgusting, filthy rich. But you have to appreciate it. You have to appreciate what the effect is when the government begins to grow and consume and tax and spend and create debt slavery. The government class doesn't think about the price at the pump. The babbling heads on progressive media, they don't even want you going to the pump. Half of these people, you know what the sad thing is? One more thing before Roland Martin over at CNN, I want you to listen to this because it's not a lie. I was told I was lying about being told to watch tapes of you because they were considering you and me for Crossfire 2.0 about 5 years ago before this Crossfire they put on now. If you don't think that's true, contact me. I'll give you the telephone number of the guy that had me watching tapes. You know who he is? He's your agent. I know this, Roland Martin. I can put you in touch with your own agent. He was the one that told me to watch the tapes. Don't call me a liar. I was going somewhere with this. I forget. I'm like getting there. I'm like getting to that vessel pushing out on the side of my head under my Realtree hat. These people forget. They forget the effect of pricing and taxing. They don't care. It's all about their feel-good concept of the greater good. Oh, I know what it was I was going to say. I'll never forget this conversation I had with the guy who was going to be the producer of the second generation or third generation of Crossfire, which that's what the Roland Martin thing is. He tweeted at me that I was a liar. Roland, call your agent. Call your agent and ask him if he told me to watch tapes of you because they were going to pair us together. But this person that I met that was the executive producer, or was going to be the executive producer, I said to him, you have a perception problem around here. And he said, what do you mean? I said, everyone west of the George Washington Bridge thinks that this network is liberal. And he said, well, they're all wrong. I've told this story before. I said, it's a funny thing about telling everyone else that they're wrong. Perception is reality in television. You've got people in the New York, D.C., or the Boston, D.C. corridor that have traveled from Boston to New York to D.C. They've flown into San Francisco. They've vacationed in London and in Paris. But they've never been to a farm in Montana. These people don't know how other people live is what I'm saying. When Rachel Maddow wrote that piece, Rachel Maddow doesn't know how other people live. She has a groomed mansion in Vermont. But I guarantee you, she doesn't know how other Vermonters live. Most of these people don't know how other people live. And in the case of Elizabeth Warren, who came from Oklahoma, whatever it was about Oklahoma that she was raised with was long gone at Harvard and is long gone now. They don't know how other people live, and they don't care. They don't care that you're not going to go on a government program, that you're going to work twice as hard, because that's who you are. That's what I was getting at. I had to work twice as hard as everyone else to get where I am. I could have easily thrown my hands up, and at points in my life, I could have gone on food stamps. But as the government grinds people into the ground, businesses, industries, employees, we work twice as hard because we're not going to go on a government program and be bad. And they don't care. Just go on a government program. Just go on Obamacare. Just take the food stamps. No, I'll work an extra shift. I'll work a second job. They don't know and they don't care. All right, let me take the break. I'll get